This is Finch News Network, where we get facts, not nonsense. So from Biden's crazy surprise wins, to Bloomberg dropping out and endorsing Biden after a terrible night, to Warren reassessing her campaign, to Trump's crazy tweets, we have it all covered for you. Super Tuesday recap from Finch News Network. Now we will take a look at last night's results from California. So California, 415 delegates. About half the delegates still have to be allocated and moved because only 54% of precincts reporting, as you can see. But as of 5 p.m. Eastern for the U.S. on March 4th, 2020, Bernie Sanders is the only state actually not declared a winner yet from any of the big sites, ABC News, MSNBC, CNN, is California. But I'm just going to say it right here. Finch News Network projects Bernie Sanders to win California, with Joe Biden coming in second place, Bloomberg in third, and Warren in fourth. Warren will be in third for the delegates. I'm not really sure. Now, let's go back to the state. Let's take another look at Texas. This was going to be a tricky one to call all the way, very close all the way, but it came down to Biden and Bernie, and Biden prevailed, with Bloomberg coming in third. And so 97% of precincts reporting. There's still 137 delegates to be allocated, so don't be surprised if you're going to watch this video 5 hours after it happened and end up seeing Warren with like 5 delegates from the congressional districts. Sorry, they're actually Senate districts in Texas. But Joe Biden is the winner of Texas. Now, let's take a look at North Carolina. Biden with a big win with 88% of precincts reporting. Then again, this is another state where don't be surprised if you see Bloomberg more. Even though Bloomberg has dropped out, he's still going to get a ton of delegates, so don't be surprised. And then Warren might drop out soon. Biden, 43%. Bernie, 24%, followed by Bloomberg with 13%, and Warren with 10.5%. Let's take a look at Virginia. Biden with a whopping 53% of the vote and 66 delegates with 99% of precincts reporting. Still one congressional district to report, and I am projecting those to go to Biden for him to finish with a total of 69, and Sanders was 29, so 40. Then Sanders in second with 23%, Warren with 11, and Bloomberg with 9.7. Let's take a look at Warren's home state, Massachusetts. So this was actually, it was closer earlier in the night, pulled ahead, but Warren still got some delegates, so she can't be mad. But it's not her best performance after all. But Biden with a shocking win, 96% of precincts, 20 delegates still to be allocated. Those will probably be split among these three. But 33.4% of the votes going to Biden, followed by Sanders, 26.7%, and Warren's biggest vote of the night, unless something changes, with 21.6%. Now let's take a look at Minnesota. With 8 delegates still to be allocated, we thought maybe Amy Klobuchar would get a delegate. That was my prediction. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But still, we saw what her endorsement did. Biden with a whopping 39% of the vote and 36 delegates in a state Bernie should have won. So Biden is the winner, followed by Bernie and then Warren. And once they get the final vote totals into 8 still to be allocated on the statewide vote, I think those will be split up like 5, 2, and 1 probably. Bloomberg's not going to get anything. But Biden is the winner of Minnesota. Now, let's look at Colorado. So this is a 4-candidate race. Now, there are 91% of precincts reporting, and all 4 of these candidates will be viable for delegates, so don't be surprised. But Bernie is the clear winner in this state for once, with 36.2% of the vote, followed by Biden with 23% of the vote, Bloomberg with 20.6%, and Warren with 17.2%. Now all these candidates will get delegates, folks. Now let's take a look at Tennessee. So with 31 delegates still to be allocated. Sorry, I misread that. Biden, 42% of the vote, followed by Bernie with 25, Bloomberg with 15, and Warren with 10. 86% of precincts reporting as of 5:30 U.S. Eastern on the day after Super Tuesday. Now, let's look at Alabama. Biden. Oh my God. 63% of the vote. Is that even real? Is that even real? Is that even real? 63% of the vote. These might be the numbers we're seeing after Bloomberg dropped out and probably Warren eventually dropping out by April. Those might be the numbers we'll see, like, maybe even, like, in the next upcoming states on March 10th. You'll see my preview for that, I'll mention that. But Biden, he's going to get probably all the delegates in the state, unless something changes. Bernie might get a few because of 16%. But with 82% of the precincts reporting, Biden, 63% of the vote, the winner, followed by Bernie with 16%, Bloomberg with 11.7%, and Warren with a disappointing 5.7%. Now, we will show you the results from Oklahoma. Biden, 38.7%. Now, there are basically like none of the delegates allocated. And I think both Bloomberg and Warren will pick up some delegates on the congressional districts, even though I don't think either will be viable. But 39% of the vote for Biden, followed by 25.4% for Bernie, 13.9% for Bloomberg, and 13.4% for Warren. But if one of those candidates is viable, it's probably going to be one of them. So watch this close third place races as the final precincts come in. Now let's go to Arkansas. Biden with a clear runaway in this one. 12 delegates still to be allocated, but 40% of the vote. And like again, Biden is having an unreal night. These are kind of like numbers Bernie Sanders was putting up back in 2016 when it was a two-candidate race. It's kind of like those. Hillary was taking almost every state, but Bernie was still getting quality second place finishes and delegates. Biden's getting first place. It's the totals. So 40% for Biden, 22.4% for Bernie, 16.7% for Bloomberg, and 10% for Warren, and 99% of precincts reporting. So this is just the statewide vote still going in. Now, let's take a look at Utah. Another one of the states Bernie Sanders won. California is probably going to be win. Also with Utah, Colorado, Vermont, and yeah, so all the candidates are going to be viable. It's 29 delegates, so these will be split very evenly. Bernie will get some extra delegates for the win-win. No, he got 3 for the win. But all this will probably be pretty evenly split among the candidates. But Warren with 15.5, and then Bloomberg with 16.7. I'm going up here. Biden with 17.4, and Bernie winning with 34.6. Now let's take a look at another surprising one, Maine. With 8 delegates still to be allocated, 8 for each Biden and Bernie, 94% precincts reporting. So then again, a state where it'll probably be another 5-2-1 split tonight. Bloomberg's out of it. And you can just see, this is kind of the grim expression on his face that was when he dropped out. It's kind of just like weird. I can't tell if he's actually smiling. But Biden in a close win with 34% of the vote and 8 delegates, followed by Bernie with 33% and 8 delegates, and then Warren with 16% of the vote. Now, runaway state, most people thought, Vermont. Now, it's not like Bernie didn't run away with this. He still got 50% of the vote and 10 delegates, but it's not what people expected. Really, it was not. And 99% of precincts reporting, so basically done. We need one more delegate. Biden, 22% of the vote in second place, followed by Warren with 12.6 and Bloomberg with 9.4. Now let's take a look at the Americans, well, the last one of the night. All right. Bloomberg, 50% and 4 delegates, and I don't know why there's one still be allocated. There are barely any votes. Just for the record, Bloomberg got 175 votes. Then look at who's second. We haven't heard this name since New Hampshire, Tulsi Gabbard. 29.3% of the vote, but then again, just 103 votes, but still a delegate. I think that, even though the Gabbard campaign didn't do a lot, she can still say she's running for House. She's 38, she'll probably try this again, but she can still say, I won a delegate in the primaries before, and I can do it again. So that's what she can say. Followed by Sanders, Biden. Warren got 5 votes and 1.4% of the vote, so that's why we're not showing her, because we can only show the top 4. And yeah, so that's basically done. This has been another presentation of Binge News Network, where I get facts, not nonsense.